Hi everybody, my name's Shona, I'm 20 years old and I've been travelling Australia for 13 months now, nearly. And I thought I'd film a short Q&A for you guys just because quite a few people have been messaging me on my Instagram asking me lots of questions about travelling, being in Australia, gap year, all sorts of things. So I thought I would help a few more people maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed some people watch this video, and hopefully it's interesting and helpful. I know a lot of you guys will be in the UK or wherever you are in lockdown with quite a few more restrictions than Australia has. We've been really lucky over here, we don't have many restrictions. And I know that with the new vaccine coming out, it, fingers crossed, hopefully should be getting a little bit better. I know a lot of people are planning gap years, they're planning trips abroad, they're planning backpacking trips, travelling. So this is what this channel's for. Hopefully this will be really helpful. It can give you a little insight into Australia or backpacking Asia or whatever you want to do. You can always send me your questions and I will try to be as helpful as possible, and hopefully a little bit interesting too. I'm just going to be answering a few short questions today just to get started, for you guys to get to know me, and these are the most asked questions that I get. So let's get on with it.
And I'm getting mighty tired of your trifling ways and of listening to that jackass Bray.
Now, I'm going to start off with my most asked question, which is how do you actually afford it and how much money did you save before you went away? Now, finances are a tricky one because it all depends on the person, what you want to do, how long you want to be away for, whether you're willing to work hard here or whether you just want to travel and do your own thing and not work at all. So before I went away, when I knew I wanted to travel, straight out of college, I went into full-time work as a healthcare assistant, and because I lived at home with my parents, I was able to save quite a bit of money. It actually wasn't a huge amount. I don't want to share the actual number that I saved because it will be different for everybody and what you want to do. Obviously, you want to look into what you want to do and how much it's going to be. But yeah, I saved. And I actually went away in the end of February 2020, and I only planned to go away travelling for around 2 months in Asia. Asia's pretty cheap. I wasn't going to work while I was away, I was just going to have a bit of a holiday and then come home. But around 2.5 weeks into my trip, COVID hit pretty bad. It was announced as a pandemic and I made a really spontaneous decision to book a flight to Australia. Everybody was going home, nobody wanted to be stuck in Asia, and it was either go home or go to Australia. I did want to go to Australia for a little bit before and I got a tourist visa, but I changed my mind, I went to Asia and it was sort of an afterthought. But really last minute, when I decided to come to Australia, I knew that I would have to find a job because I didn't have half as much money. I didn't know if I was going to get stuck here with COVID and everything. So I really quickly applied for the working holiday visa and I was so lucky that it came through the same day. Sometimes it takes months, but for me, I was so lucky, it was just meant to be. And I got it literally the day that I was flying and leaving Thailand. My visa came through. Now, the working holiday visa allows you to stay for a year and you can work wherever you like in Australia, doing whatever you want. You can work in the same place for up to 6 months. So you can literally do whatever you want. One of the best things about working in Australia is the pay. Minimum wage is much higher over here, especially if you're on a casual contract, which is sort of the same as a 0-hour contract. You get paid 25% more than the minimum. So that's usually around $25. I think I was getting paid that, and I was working in McDonald's for a bit. Literally, I struggled to find a job. My last resort was McDonald's, and I was still earning a fair wage. So saving money, even when you're a backpacker, even when you're spending it on going out, drinking, whatever, it's still doable to save quite a bit of money in Australia. So that's great. What me and my boyfriend Dan, what we do to afford things and save money is we will move to one place, say Cairns, or now we're living in Brisbane, and we'll find jobs. We will make sure that we have enough money saved for that period where we're looking for jobs, which has in the past been between 2 and 6 weeks. Once we find jobs, we try and save as much money as we can. We do enjoy ourselves, we still go out drinking, we still do all the touristy things, but we save enough money for our next trip. And after a certain amount of time, so we stayed in Cairns for I think 3 months, we want to stay in Brisbane for 6 months. After that period of time, we would have saved enough money to go on another trip. And usually we can travel without a job for 2 or 3 weeks, depending on what we decide to do and how much money we spend, and obviously what mode of transport we take. We try and do the transport really cheaply, we try and save money in that area, and we try and get the best deals on tours and stuff like that. It's all about how you manage your money, you budget, you save. But yeah, it is definitely doable. You can afford being out here if you're working. You can afford a really good lifestyle even as a backpacker. Even if you're young, you can still afford a really nice lifestyle even on minimum wage. So there's not much to worry about in that area. As long as you've saved enough money beforehand for your flights, for your accommodation, until you find a good steady job. The next question is, how easy is it to get a job in Australia? Now, I would say as a backpacker, it's actually pretty easy to find a job. It doesn't matter that you're a backpacker. In Australia, there are so many backpackers, there's so many foreigners from so many different countries. So if you're worried about employers not employing you because you're a backpacker, then that's absolutely not the case. Probably one of the easiest jobs to get is in hospitality. So if you have any bar experience or waitressing, anything like that, then you'll be absolutely fine getting a job. And I didn't even have any experience in hospitality before I came, and I found jobs pretty easy. Obviously, because of COVID and business not being great, it is harder in some places. When we're in Cairns, there was absolutely no tourism, so a lot of the businesses were struggling, and it took a little bit longer for us to find a job. For us, it's taken between 2 and 6 weeks for us to find jobs, depending on the location and how COVID was at that time and how busy the city was, the town, etc, etc. So my next question is, what has been your favourite thing about travelling and what's been your least favourite thing? So I would say my favourite thing in general has just been the people that I've been able to meet. I've made so many good memories with so many great people, and I have so many friends that are just dotted around the world now. It's great. And obviously I met Daniel here, who is now my boyfriend, so I couldn't really ask for anything more. When it comes to the actual country, my favourite part about what I've done so far would either have to be the plane tour that I did over the Great Barrier Reef up in Cairns. That was absolutely amazing. It was so stunning, honestly. It was so breathtaking, and I literally got emotional. Like, it would either be that or the tour of Fraser Island that me and Dan did. it was so much fun. We saw so many things on the island that are just so incredible and just unreal, literally things you couldn't even imagine are real, like sand dunes into a lake, and on the other side of the lake there's just a rainforest, and it's absolutely crazy. Australia is a completely ridiculous country. It's so beautiful, and Fraser Island was just amazing. My least favourite thing about travelling probably has to be being away from my family and my friends for this long. I never planned to be away for this long, so I didn't have a going away party or anything massive like that. I definitely didn't expect to be away from my mum or my dad for this long, and so much has changed back home while I've been away that it's just going to be so weird when I go home. My mum, she's moved house while I've been away, so I didn't get to say goodbye to my house. One of my dogs, Pippa, she passed away last year and I didn't get to say goodbye to her, so that's going to be really weird when I get back. And just, yeah, missing all my friends, which is obviously a part of it, part of being away. But obviously I knew that was what I was signing up for when I decided to stay here longer. It just makes the down days even worse when you don't have your mum or your friends there just to comfort you and take care of you. Sometimes it does get a little bit lonely, so that would be my least favourite thing. But yeah, it is, I'd say, that would be my least favourite thing, but it is definitely worth it at the end of the day. All these amazing new friends that I've got to meet and all the amazing memories, and I'm so grateful that my parents are behind me and they support me with every decision that I make. Even when I dropped out of uni for Australia, they still support me and they're still at the end of the phone if I need them, which is great. The next question is, what's your view on romance whilst travelling? And this is an interesting one because when I first came away, I was a very different person, and at that time I had a massive wall up, so I did not want to get into any sort of romantic relationship, anything whatsoever. But here we are a year later, and I haven't gone a day that I haven't spent with Daniel. Me and Daniel met doing farm work, and now we live together. I would say you do you, honestly, it's all up to you and where you are in life. If you're ready to meet people, if you're ready to date, then absolutely go for it, because you meet so many like-minded people when you're travelling, and you get to do stuff and experience things that you could never experience back home. So go for it. I mean, you have to be careful, and obviously sometimes you can have your holiday goggles on, those rose-tinted glasses. So don't be too quick to trust people that you don't know. Obviously be sensible, be careful, especially if you're solo travelling, you're out on your own, especially if you're a girl, be sensible. But at the end of the day, you've got to enjoy yourself, and you never know where it'll take you. Look at me, guys.
Look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
So the last question is, are you ever coming back, and are you still planning on going to uni? So, bit of a backstory for anybody who doesn't know. I was going to go to uni, and I was going to study medicine. I initially took a gap year, and I was just planning to go travelling for a few months. And I already had my place. I got a place at Birmingham University, which I did accept. And then after a couple months of being here, after the lockdown had sort of lifted a little bit, I wanted to make the most of my time here while I could, and I knew I might not get another chance to go travelling again. So I asked the uni if I could defer a year, and they said no. So I withdrew my place from uni and I made the this was a really scary decision. I made the decision to stay out here and just enjoy myself and travel and make the most of it. And I am going to apply to uni once I get home. I still want to do medicine. I still really want that as a career. The fact that I still want to do it has just confirmed to me that it's the right path for me. I think maybe it just wasn't the right time last year. I actually really miss studying, like, believe it or not. If you know me, then you know that, like, I am a bit of a geek. I do work hard, and with being here and not studying and just working in hospitality and enjoying myself, I found it really weird, and I have so much less to do and I really miss studying. So I am actually gonna apply for uni this year to start in 2022, and fingers crossed it'll all go well and I'll be doing medicine. Right guys, that is where I'm gonna leave it for today, but I think in the future I will make videos which are more centered on just one topic, and then I can sort of explain all the details, such as how to get a working holiday visa, how to set up all your finances, bank accounts, stuff like that. I can do one on where I've been in Australia, buying a car, all these things which I now have experience doing, which is weird, and hopefully I can pass some of my knowledge on. Not that I'm an expert, but it always helps just to have a little bit of an image of what it's like. So I think I'll do some other videos, maybe more centered on specific topics, and I think that might be a little bit more helpful. I hope after this video you've got to know me a little bit better. Hopefully it was helpful, it's given you a little bit of an insight, a little sneak peek into what it's like out here, what it's like travelling. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and I know that people appreciate it, and I will make a new one. If no one likes it, then I won't. I know it's been a long time coming with this video, guys. It took me ages to build up the courage and get the time and the energy to do it, so please subscribe, give it a like, comment what videos you want to see next as well, please. That's it from me. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Hi there, Tex, how's you doing right now? The one you met at the campus day. Wait until you see her, you'll agree. Zoo, 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 zoo.